Okay, so I just wanted to say happy belated birthday to Malcolm X. Yesterday was his birthday, and I forgot. So, in any case, I'm just gonna do a really quick birthday read for him. I'd like to see how this looks again. Um, One of the main complaints, I think I didn't really speak on this very much, but one of the main complaints about Malcolm X was that he was violent, or that he was willing to use violence as a means of revolt. A whole bunch of cards just fell out on the floor, though. So hold on. Okay. Yeah. And I think that was some people's main caveat about him. They did not agree with that. And I feel like when they're comparing him to Martin Luther King, that's oftentimes like the main comparison is people are like, well, Martin Luther King wanted to peacefully overcome, whereas Malcolm X was willing to violently overcome. So I think that's kind of relevant simply because it comes to a point in life where you feel defeated, right? And you're not quite sure how to express that. Do we take a knee and then get yelled at because our ancestors also died in the Civil War, have also died in World War I and II, because we fought for this country as well? And because of our skin color, there may be a discrepancy, a noticeable one, between the way that we're honored and treated versus other people? Or are we supposed to just not take a knee and peacefully get gassed over and over again, beaten in the knees, just watch our kids get slaughtered for some candy? I don't know. It's disturbing a little bit, and I get the frustration. Do I think it's acceptable? No. No, I don't. I think you need to take a self-defense class and learn how to defend yourself against attacks, both internally and physically. When people violate your time, space, energy, effort, that's probably more reasonable. But in terms of the entire community having the comfort level and confidence that they will be listened to, acknowledged, and that things will actively change on a regular basis, as actively as they do for every other demographic, right? That's the part that's hard to imagine. It's like the elephant in the room. And I think that constant elephant in the room, whether it be you embodying the spirit of the elephant as you're shopping and someone's following you around, making you feel like the zit on the middle of your face that feels giganormous, but nobody else can see it. Like tiny fire, huge animal. Just your self-esteem would just shrivel. I'm just saying, curling into itself. It's like the most unnatural thing that you could see a elephant do is like take the fetal position. Unless it's passed away or something. I don't know. All I'm saying here is that there's a portion that needs to be discussed, needs to be said. Elephants are very innocent. They're very pure-hearted. They're very gentle animals. They've got some of the most terrifying tools to defend themselves with. Like if an elephant tries to stomp you out, they're probably going to be successful. But I'm just trying to say that this is a powerful, graceful, elegant, lovely, beautiful, gorgeous animal. If I could assign a food to the spirit of an elephant, I might choose angel hair. Because I always notice around their eyes, which are very sensitive and deep, that they've got eyelashes and eye hairs that are like so delicate, just like we do, you know? And we spend, I don't know how much on makeup and everything every year, you know? So I just think that these are very naturally grand and kind of royal creatures of this earth. So, in any case, that's the first one out for that. Let's see what else we can get from Malcolm X, because I do feel like he was very regal in that same way, had a lot of poise, and was able to discuss this elephant in the room that none of the rest of us could really put words to. Spider. So, yeah, whatever web we were caught up in, I'm just W.E.B. Du Bois. I just think it's like a tender spot. That's what I'm getting from this right now. A sore spot. You see how half the spider web is of like earth and kind of the yellow colors, and then the rest of it, the top half of it, is way more vivid and red. I feel like there's a sore spot or a soft spot that this elephant in the room is guarding, as you could see. The longer tusk is on that side, and he's got his whole trunk wrapped around it, even though, to be quite honest, it looks like it could actually be a little painful. It's quite close to the fire for the elephant not to get burned. So whatever issues our ancestors and our heritage has shared with us thus far, those are sensitive subjects, and it's no laughing matter. It's just, it is what, but you can't really change something that's there. The tension in the room, if it's so thick that you could cut it with a butter knife, or like you couldn't cut it with a butter knife. I mean, it depends on how massively blocked you are from whatever conversation, situation. And I think when it comes to race, that's still something that we struggle with in 2021. It's like this vicious cycle that continues to go forward. So even though we can look back at the civil rights movement and, you know, identify those people that we feel have made a significant difference, there's also this question in my mind, at least personally, if the truth of the matter has actually been addressed, in all honesty. Because it feels like there's still some completions of, you know, when you finish a thought or an idea or a book, like reading a book, for example, it's like it gives you closure, hopefully. Some books don't. Those cliffhanger books, I can't stand that. But in any case, this is that you've made the garden complete, and it's now able to just sit there and grow on its own. I'm also seeing the infrastructure for something here, and the actual, building plan. So like I'm seeing the grid. This is like on graphing paper. If an architect writes everything out on a graphing paper before they make it into an actual physical prototype. And this right here is the actual prototype. This is this in 3D. Nobody likes spiders and nobody likes snakes. They're both a little bit intimidating. And I think that was the matter that Malcolm X was able to face every day. Maybe living in the middle of a sore spot, but it had to be his world for a while. And even though there were issues that the rest of us didn't really know how to spit out, it will end up like it was a karmic. It was almost like karmic for him to end up where he did as part of this group that was able to confront the elephant in the room. I used to know a lady who really liked elephant figurines and sculptures and stuff. And I'm just also seeing that that's the point, is to enjoy the little things as much as you enjoy the big things. That's the other message that's coming through. Like, whatever is happening in your world, whether you're the head or the tail of the snake, you're actually in the same place. First comes last, last comes first kind of energy, this regeneration. When you notice the smallest of things and you can notice the largest of things. I'm just seeing this sore spot as being potentially the bendy on the middle of the elephant's throat right there. Lord Ganesh is an elephant god, and prayed to quite often by the people who are inhabited by that spirit and religion. So this is very much like a revolutionary energy, I guess is what I'm trying to say. When Malcolm X, I'm just seeing the X right there in the middle. So it's like negotiating with an elephant how not to step on a snake, and negotiating with the snake on how not to bite the elephant. That's kind of the infrastructure that was being built and protected and bolstered. I don't know why, but the hair on this elephant also is coming through. Both of these have a lot of like little strings. It's like I'm seeing a thought bubble. I don't know why, but I'm just seeing thought bubbles. You know how cartoon characters have thought bubbles? This is no laughing matter, is what I'm getting. Like, it's like a issue, but it's also like a sticky situation. So in order to handle it, he was willing to handle the fire. Fight fire with fire, I'm not hearing. That was look at one tusk is missing and the other one is not. One tusk has just been snapped off from a fight. So, guess in the world you got to figure out what you're willing to get messy fighting for in the future. How many times are you willing to touch the same fire before you change up the rhetoric? How many different ways can you defend this fire without fighting so that you can keep your other tusk completely? Malcolm X lost to the same community or in the same community that he changed. And it wasn't, it wasn't unheard of or necessarily unexpected. People get assassinated when they have great ideas. But I also think his ability to fight for a passion that he was willing to protect, to plan out and then to seed, it's just something to look up to in so many different ways. And I don't know the answer. If you already took a knee and lost a tusk, If you already try to protect his children and the things that he is passionate about and was told, no, you can't have that half of the picture. I'm just now seeing that, yeah, the snake. I don't know, this, it's like all of my, yeah. I was about to say that's just like sticking there. But it was like half the picture. If I'm only allowed to look at and discuss and explore half the picture of what it means to have self-esteem and dignity and pride in myself as a black man walking down the street, how do I teach my wife to respect me? How do I teach my children to look up to me? How do I teach myself to honor everything that I can do and all of the many different ways I could impact the world every day? I guess that's the thing. I don't think it was about even always the brutality. Sometimes it was about the nuances, the looks. There's a book called It's the Little Things. I don't remember who it's by, but it's a really great book. If you're not understanding or if you don't think racism exists, you should go read it. And it does just kind of let you know that when you're a brown or a black person, when you walk into a room, you really can't hide that. No matter how long sleeve a shirt you're wearing or how much of a turtleneck. There, that one just popped out. These ones popped out. You know, it's like no matter how much of a turtleneck you wear, your face, I mean, and that's the thing. So this dragonfly card came out in reverse, which means that whatever idea this is, that the idea that I'm discussing right now, or the idea that we're discussing for the future, you'll know how this applies to you. But there's just a cohesion between the strength that it takes to stand up to a nation, which is what Malcolm X was willing to do, and the strength that it takes to hold down the fort, even when it's disgusting. You've literally had every single excuse thrown in your face, every single inconvenience suffered. People have helped you. Yes, they have helped you, but your idea still has not taken flight. And because you're stretched out like an angel with broken wings, this isn't the air sign card. This air sign. It's supposed to be in the upright. You're supposed to have full range. Is now what I'm seeing, full range of ability to manifest exactly what you want. So being able to look at yourself as a strong person, have that self-esteem, to be able to instill it in other people through mental thought, words, and the power that he kind of embodied was a gift. It was a gift. And it was something you had to be really strong to get through, right? I'm just going to look at the bottom of the deck is a beaver. To build this was not easy. This is an upright pyramid. And just now seeing the line is the Sphinx. To be an architect and to lay out those plans is not easy. To translate between the world as a conduit, kind of like needing to catch the main point and wrap it up like a spider in a web. And then that being overlaid even further by the rest of this energy that's just kind of, yeah, I mean, like this is this sticky situation. You're left to decode the elephant in the room to the whole world. It's like if you're the only African American person in class and they want to read Huckleberry Finn. I'm not even going to go into that conversation because it's really just not even worth it. It's not about anything besides the level of respect and your ability to successfully communicate that there's a huge problem kind of right there in the background. So, happy birthday, Malcolm X. I'm sorry that I missed the actual day, but also when I looked on Google, because yeah, I cheated. I looked on Google and it said that it was like the third week of the month, or on, May 19th. So, yeah. I'm just also seeing that, the darker sides of ourselves come out once we've been repressed for too long. And I guess that's the trick, is being able to stare at an elephant in the room for long enough that you can make a difference without going crazy trying to translate. That's what I'm getting from this. So, thanks for your revolutionary translational soul and your poised, handsome spirit. May our articulate self rest in peace, and happy born day. All right, guys. I'll talk to you later. Have a good one. Bye.